Majority Floor Leader Abante. Comsec,
Thank you very much.
Yes. Before you
Thank you
proceed,
very-
the regional officers should be invited in the next hearing. Comsec, so ordered.
Sir,
Honorable Abante, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chairman Defensor. Thank you very much, Chairman Alvarado. Gusto ko lang pong sabihin na more than a year ago, the minority bloc filed a resolution to investigate Philhealth, no? And that's more than a year ago. At gusto ko lang pong sabihin sa ating mga Philhealth officials that this is in aid of legislation. Ibig sabihin yan, maaari nating reviewin ang mandato ng Philhealth, baguhin at bigyan lalo ito ng stricter provisions o kaya naman ang gawin natin i-dissolve na ang Philhealth at bigyan ng bagong mandato o kaya naman asking the Philhealth officials na mag-resign na po sila upang ating Pangulo would have a free hand in appointing others who could be able to serve Philhealth more sapagkat ito pong investigasyong ito, Mr. Chair, ay ginagawa natin hindi upang akusahan ang mga official po ng Philhealth, kundi upang ingatan po natin ang contributions ng mga milyon-milyon na mga nagbabayad ng PhilHealth contributions. Ano po? Sapagkat yan po ay pera nila. Hindi po yan pera ng gobyerno. Hindi po yan pera ng sino man tao. Kundi pera po yan ng milyon-milyong mga nagbabayad ng kontribusyon. Ano po? O kaya naman, kung dapat na nating ibigay sa private sector ang PhilHealth at gawing isang korporasyon kung saan ang gobyerno at ang private sector ay partner tungkol dyan para maiwasan po ang korupsyon. Pero ilan po ba ang vice president ng PhilHealth? Sa pagkakaalam ko, isa lang po ang presidente. But I'd like to ask, ilan po ba ang vice president ng PhilHealth?
Let's recognize.
Sino pwedeng sumagot yan?
Yung Dennis Mas po, Senior Vice President for Management Services. Ang PhilHealth, merong isang President and CEO. Below him, meron tayong Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. And then below pa...
Sino po yun? Sino yun? Sino yung Senior Vice President?
Yung Senior Vice President, first, myself, Dennis Mas, followed by Renato Limsiaco, Mayovita Aragon.
O ilan po kayong Senior Vice President?
7, Your Honors. 7.
7. Okay. O, ilan yung Vice President?
Yung
po?
Vice President, kaya ba? Si Mr. Abado, si... 4, no? 4. May araw tayong 4 na area vice presidents and then 16 regional vice presidents, Your Honor. At saka 4 na 5 branch managers. Yun yung mga salary grade 26 up. Yun yung mga officers ng PhilHealth, executive managerial officers.
Matanong ko lang po, bakit napakaraming vice president? Ibig sabihin, meron pong iba't ibang function yan, di ba?
May kanya-kanyang functions po, sir, Your Honors.
And they are all important functions, as important as all occupying the vice president's position.
Yes, Your Honor. May kanya-kanyang mga sariling offices, unique functions sa buong corporation.
Ako yung nagtataka lang ako sapagkat napakaraming vice president and senior vice president. Anyway, meron po kayong accreditation fee. Hindi po ba? Tinatawag po yung accreditation fee that
Meron po,
runs
Your
into
Honors.
millions of pesos. Ano po?
Meron po, Your Honors.
Magkano po yun?
Sa details po, Your Honors, ako kasi Senior Vice President for Management Services, HR at saka Physical Resources yung hawak ko. May I turn over kay SVP Ishpargas sa Health Finance Policy Sector.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, yes, meron po tayong accreditation fee, especially for the healthcare provider institutions, pero wala po tayong accreditation fee for the professionals. For the amounts po, Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, may I provide the amount for the accreditation fee later? I'm just asking for.
Okay, so ibig sabihin na hindi mo alam at this time. Hindi mo alam yung magkano.
Hindi ko lang po memorize because we have several institution types. We have the hospitals, we have ambulatory clinics, we have freestanding dialysis clinics, maternity care, animal bite. So we have different institutions po na paying for accreditation fee. But
So, pwede po
I'll
bang,
get the data
pwede po pakisubmit ninyo ang listahan at amount sa ating galang-galang na chairman ng public accounts, please, committee.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman po, yes, we will abide po.
Okay, so yan po ba ay iniipon ninyo o nagagasta taon-taon?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, I will ask the finance on how the accreditation fees are being booked in our financials.
My goodness, you should be prepared in this hearing. Bakit palagi na lang sinasabi ninyong hindi nyo alam? What's this? Are we conducting a hearing here na wala kayo pwedeng sabihin sa amin?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, I apologize po because the amount
Well, you really have to apologize because you are not well prepared.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I'm asking po because our Senior Vice President for Finance is here. Sila po yung nagbubook ng mga income ng ating korporasyon. So I will ask po how...
Bakit hindi sila ang sumasagot? Why are you the one answering? Why not the Vice President of Finance answering?
The VP of Finance is recognized. Kindly reply to the Honorable Minority Floor Leader. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, for the accreditation fee po ng ating healthcare providers for the year 2019 po, we received 26.6 million pesos, Your Honor.
For the year what?
26.6 million, Your Honor.
That is only for the year 2019.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the year 2020.
20 ano, sir? Come again, sir? 20, sorry po.
2020.
2020.
2020, let me check. As of June? As of June?
Yes, sir, as of June.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, the accreditation fee po as of June 2020 po ay 7.9 million, Your Honor.
How many years have you been charging, have you been asking accreditation fee? How many years have you been doing that?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Since when did you start asking accreditation fees? Since when?
Dr. Pargas kindly answer. Sorry, Your Honor.
Yes, Dr. Vargas.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, the collection of accreditation fees started even when we started the accreditation of healthcare facilities since 1995 po. And just
Since
to update,
1995.
yes, as I was informed, sir. Sir, just to update lang po, For level 3 facilities, we collect 10,000. For level 2 facilities, we collect 8,000. For level 1 facilities, it's at 5,000, sorry. For infirmaries at 3,000. For freestanding dialysis and ambulatory surgical clinics, it's at 5,000. For maternity care providers, for our TB DOTS packages, we collect 1,000 po.
So they have been they have been paying for the past 15 years now.
Especially po for the hospitals, for the other Mr. Chair, for the other facilities po, when Philhealth started accrediting them, so doon lang po nagsimula yung kanilang accreditation. Because through the years po, we have added facilities, healthcare facilities to be accredited by Philhealth. But
Opo,
we with hospitals.
If say for example in 2019 you have more than 20 million that have given accreditation fees, therefore in 15 years time it would amount to more than 250 million. Am I right?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, probably, sir, but we need to check because, again, as I've said, from the start, it was only the hospitals. However, the other healthcare facilities, we started accrediting them through the years lang po. Hindi po siya
Okay.
from the start natin ina-accredit.
Well, let me ask, are you saving that amount of money or are you using it?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, pakiulit lang po. Sorry.
Are you saving that? Yan ba'y inyong hindi ginagalaw o ginagamit ninyo?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, ang pera po na nakolekta po natin sa accreditation fee po from our HCP ay pumapasok po sa account ng Philhealth. Ito po ay one fund po tayo. Ibig sabihin po ginagamit din po natin ito para sa pagbayad ng ating mga benepisyo po para sa ating mga miyembro po.
Well, that is a separate funding, am I right?
Mr. Chair, hindi ko pa masyado gaano
That's a separate fund.
Hindi po siya separate fund po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Isang pondo lang po siya sa ating pondo po ng korporasyon po.
Okay. Meron akong natanggap na tawag nito na message na kung totoo ito, pakisabi sa amin, no? Is it true that these accreditation fees are just being shared and divided by Philhealth officials and ExCom officials? Totoo po ba yan? Hindi. Uulitin ko po yung tanong ko. Totoo po ba na ang accreditation fees na ito ay binabahagi lamang at dinidivide among Philhealth officials and ExCom officials? Totoo po ba o hindi?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, I will ask the finance to answer because they are again the ones booking this amounts.
Okay.
Who will answer, Dr. Vargas? Sino po sasagot? Mr. Demsiaco, can you reply to the, Mr. Demsiaco, can you reply to the question of the Honorable Abante?
Sorry, sir. May I have the question again, sir?
Totoo po ba na itong accreditation fees na ito are being used, shared, and divided by Philhealth officials and ExCom officials?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sa aking nalalaman po, ito po ay in the previous years, Your Honor, ginagamit po ito, dinadivide po ito, sa ngayon po, year 2018, 2019, wala na po ito dahil sa ito po ay kasama po as part of our other income, Your Honor.
Oh, so yan po ay bahagi ng income ninyo. Anong tawag doon? Yung po ba sweldo o allowances?
Ito po, Your Honor, ang ating accreditation fee po ay part ng other income ng corporation po. And
No, you were saying that you're sharing it and you're dividing it among yourselves. So what I would like to find out, what kind of income is that? Yan po ba'y allowances ninyo?
sorry po, Your Honor, hindi ko po makuha yung detalye sa ngayon kung ano nangyari po during that time. I think we need to submit a report on that na lang, Your Honor, if marapatin po ninyo. Dahil po ay...
Alam po ba ng COA ang bagay na yan?
Congressman Navantes, kung alam ng COA yung bagay niyan o may report ang COA tungkol sa bagay niyan.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, ito po ay kasama po sa reporting natin sa Commission on Audit po. As
Okay,
part
thank you.
ng financial report po natin.
So, Mr. Chairman, so totoo na itong accreditation fees na ito that is now for about 15 years na binabayad would go to more than 250 million ay pinaghahatian lamang ng mga Philhealth officials and ExCom officials as part of their income.
Philhealth?
Dukis, kasama. Alam mo.
Can you reply, Philhealth?
Mr.
Nahihirapan
Chief,
sa
Honor, ang year 2019 po, 2020 po, ang pagkakaalam ko po ay hindi na po ito part ng allowances na binibigay po sa ating mga officials po. And sinasabi ko nga po, this is already part of the other income of the corporation po.
Mr. Chair, I would like to remind our resource speakers that they are under oath.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor po.
And therefore, in this committee, you are admitting from 1995 to 2018, you have been actually using all of the fees, accreditation fees, as part of your income. And only in 2019, you have not been doing that.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, pasensya po, hindi ko po masyado alam sa ngayon yung detalye po ng pagbigay ng accreditation fee po na maging allowance po siya ng ating mga Philhealth employees po or officials po. And
pinag-uusapan,
magbibigay lang po kami ng report on that, Mr. Chair, kung po
ang
pwede po.
pinag-uusapan po natin dyan ay pera to the tune of millions. Sinasagot niyo ako na hindi niyo alam. So Mr. Chair, I would like to demand that the Philhealth official should submit to us the full detail of the fees, kung saan po ito napupunta at kung kanino napunta at kung anong klaseng income ang pinaggagamitan po ng accreditation fees na ito, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Philhealth is directed to please submit the documents as regards the fees as yung pong binanggit ng ating Honorable Abante, lahat po yan kung saan nagagamit. Kung maaari po magbigay kayo ng report tukol dito. Go ahead, Congressman Abante.
Pinag-uusapan natin kanina, nabanggit po ni Chairman Alvarado, nabanggit po ni Deputy Speaker El Rey ang tungkol sa mafia. Ano po? Ang tinitingnan ko po ito. Meron po bang participation ang ating mga regional vice presidents and head? Oo. Na sabihin po natin involved sa mafia, na involved sa mga payments and they play favorites doon sa mga healthcare institutions depending if they give favors to it.
Feels recognized. Who would be the person? The Executive Vice President? Yes, go ahead. Ms. Neri.
Sorry, just for the, Mr. Chair, just for the info of the honorable members, EVP COO, Sir Ernell, is undergoing a procedure right now to replace the battery for his pacemaker. So he might be available this afternoon, but for now,
Sige po.
he's indisposed po.
So nagkasakit na po si General Morales, nagkasakit si Mr. De Jesus.
Mr. Chair,
Opo. Siguro ma'am, baka pwede nyo sabihin yung... yes, Honorable Minority Floor Leader Abante. Go ahead.
ibig sabihin, nagkakasakit na po sila. Ibig sabihin, isa lang po nakakaalam nun. Hindi po alam ng iba.
Dito
So
po.
that they cannot be able to answer us, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Maybe Dr. Vargas may want to reply to the Minority Floor Leader.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Minority Floor Leader, I'm sorry for the question because I'm checking on the other questions earlier. Mr. Congressman, sir, if you can repeat po the question with regard to the regional vice presidents.
When it comes to the involvement of payments, are you playing favorites with the healthcare institutions like hospitals, dialysis centers, depending of who could be able to give favors? The only answer is yes or no.
Mr. Congressman, the policy po for our reimbursements are first in, first out. So the first claim that would come in is the first claim that will be processed. So yun po yung ating policy with regard to claims processing.
Mr. Chair, I don't think that I'm able to hear the right answer. The answer should only be yes or no.
No, sir, we're not favoring. As far as I know, we are
No,
not.
you're not. No, you're not. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, I just would like to ask, no? There is Senator Subiri exposed a certain hospital in Davao in which Philhealth has given, paid more than 300 million pesos, which is one of the highest payments among hospitals. Anybody would like to comment on that, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Dr. Vargas.
Mr. Chair, Congressman Abante, sir, I think what you are referring to is the hospital, which is the Southern Philippines Medical Center in Davao.
Yes. I think you heard Senator Subiri say that, isn't it?
Yes, sir. And on the IRM fund, we have, I think that is the #1 hospital, or the hospital with the highest amount of IRM that we released.
Okay. Now, ang PhilHealth, merong integrity officer. Hindi po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Congressman.
Na ang pangunahing trabaho ay bantayan ang korupsyon sa nasabing ahensya at panatilihin ang integridad nito. Am I right?
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, yes.
Okay. Andiyan po yung Senior Vice President Legal, no? De Rosario.
Kasama po natin si Vice President sa Zoom po, sa Zoom. Can we, Vice President Del Rosario is recognized?
Andiyan po ba siya? Senior Vice President Legal, Rodolfo De Rosario. Mr. Chair, are you present?
We are checking now, may Congressman Nabante. Is he there? Kanina po nakita natin. Ayan po. Go ahead.
Okay. Unang-una, I would like to ask, sino po ba ang integrity officer ng Philhealth?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Attorney Rogelio Pucalyan.
So, attorney, who is the integrity officer of Philhealth na ang pangunahing trabaho ay bantayan ng korupsyon?
The chair of the whistleblowing committee of Philhealth is Attorney Rodolfo Del Rosario, our SVP for legal sector.
Oh, so he's not there. No, you're the one answering.
Yes, sir.
Okay, where is he?
He left because he's
Blood pressure.
he has a high blood pressure po, sir. So nag-break lang po muna siya.
So, ibig sabihin,
Leader, kanina po nandyan si Senior Vice President Del Rosario. So may sakit na sa inyo, General Morales, Mr. De Jesus, ngayon naman high blood si Senior Vice President Del Rosario. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Dominante Floor Leader.
okay. So, attorney, baka mamaya ma-high blood ka rin dito, no? Okay, ito ang isa pang question ko. What policies and programs have you done to eliminate or prevent or mitigate corruption in Philhealth?
Sir, we have this integrity committee or the whistleblowing committee wherein the employees of Philhealth are and even external stakeholders are encouraged to report to Philhealth any irregularity, illegal acts, and practices of the employees and officers of Philhealth. And then the committee will investigate those complaints. Then they will issue a resolution, a report for approval of the President and CEO.
Mr. Chair, I would like to ask that the legal department of Philhealth and the integrity officer submit to us the guidelines by which they base on their job as eliminating or preventing corruption, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, we will do po. We'll submit.
Okay. All right. Now, dahil wala po dyan si Senior Vice President, perhaps you can answer this, no? Totoo ba that Ms. Attorney Del Rosario held concurrent positions in Philhealth, OIC head for Region 1 and Davao?
No, no, sir. As far as I know, wala pong concurrent positions.
Wala ba? And because of that, he is receiving compensation allowances for both positions?
No, no, sir po.
Okay. Is it also true that Senior Vice President of Legal, De Rosario, have been found guilty of an administrative offense?
Sir, as to that question, I have no personal knowledge. So I cannot properly answer, sir, the question.
You don't have any personal knowledge, attorney.
None.
You are his deputy.
I was just assigned to represent him today.
Ibig sabihin, if you are assigned to represent him, you know.
Yes, sir, but as to that question, sir, I have no knowledge.
Oh. Is it true that Attorney De Rosario filed a protest with the Civil Service Commission questioning his appointment?
Yes, sir, but I think the Civil Service Commission granted his affirmed his appointment.
Mr. Chair, I will be asking the Senior Vice President to submit to us a letter answering all of these questions.
Yes, sir, we will.
Oh. Ang Department of Finance ay meron ding kinatawan sa board ng Philhealth.
Yes.
Na ang tungkulin ay bantayan din po ang financial health ng company. Nandiyan po ba si Treasurer Rosalina De Leon and Deputy Treasurer Sharon Almansa? Are they present in the hearing?
Comsec?
She's not present, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, if they are not present,
Are you asking for Miss Emily Roque, Treasury Department? Is that the person?
Treasurer Rosalina De Leon and Deputy Treasurer Sharon Almansa.
Both are not present, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, could we be able to invite them on the next hearing to be able to appear to the committee? If there's still a next hearing? Because these persons are the representatives of the Department of Finance, whose primary job is to protect the financial health of Philhealth. They are needed to shed light to various anomalies surrounding Philhealth. We want to know what they have done before, during, and after these issues came to light. We would like to find out what have they been doing. How did all of this happen before their very nose? Because they have a lot to answer for. They were appointed to these positions precisely to ensure integrity and transparency in Philhealth, Mr. Chair.
Sige po, with the request of the minority floor leader, imbitan po natin, Comsec, hindi lang po yung ating, I stand corrected, I thought it was the Treasurer of Philhealth, but you were talking about the Department of Finance.
Yes.
Lahat po na mga ex-officio members and also the chairman, which is DOH, to be present in the next committee hearing. So ordered.
Is the resident auditor for Philhealth present? Mr. Chair?
Resident Auditor Comsec?
Sir, as of 1:45 p.m., is not yet in the Zoom interface.
No, the co-auditor was with us the last time.
May we also ask for him to appear before this honorable committee?
Minority floor leader, we're just checking kasi kasama po natin ang COA the last time. Nandito po ba ang COA sa atin?
Not yet, sir, but they were invited.
Yes, Congressman Nabante, we will reiterate our invitation to them. Go ahead.
Because, Mr. Chair, my reason is that if we only have the Philhealth officials, we might just be put into a go-around thing, no? It's good for us to be able to ask these other officials that are not Philhealth officials to appear because they are the ones that ensure the integrity and transparency in Philhealth. Now, per newspaper reports, the following hospitals were provided the following funds under the IRM. You have been telling us kanina, no, about the RIM. Southern Philippines Medical Center with 326 million pesos. That is the Davao-based small hospital. Davao Regional Medical Center in Tagum City with 209 million pesos. Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center in Cebu City with 204 million pesos. Jose B. Lingat Memorial Regional Hospital in the city of San Fernando with 201 million pesos. PGH, on the other hand, got 263.3 million pesos. And PGH is a COVID-19 referral hospital, and we know for a fact that PGH is the largest state hospital in the country. We also know that majority of the cases is found in the NCR, even until now, and the Calabarzon area. And yet, its IRM is still lesser than the Southern Philippines Medical Center. Now the question is, what is the preference all about?
Philhealth.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman,
Yes.
yes po. I think the NCR hospital represents around 20
You
plus.
think, before you answer, you think why are you saying you think? You must say you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
The amount released to NCR hospitals is more than the 20% of the IRM that was released nationwide. And the figures can be provided by our SVP for Finance, Mr. Limsiaco, on the proportions of the IRM released to our areas and hospitals.
I do not know why you're pointing finger to somebody else. I think that who should, Mr. Chair, the one that knows this should be answering. You know, we do not want that nagpapalit-palit dito para kayo nagtuturuan yan eh. So we'd like to find out. Ako, nagtataka lang ako ha. PGH, the largest hospital, a COVID-19 referral hospital, where they have the majority of the cases, you know, of COVID-19, only received 263.3 million. So in my mind, may mga preferences po dito. We'd like to find out why. So Mr. Chair, the one that is knowledgeable must answer. Not only that you begin to start by saying, I think. It's not what you think. It is what you know.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Congressman, the Southern Philippines Medical Center, which is the #1 recipient of the highest amount for the IRM, they have the highest number of reimbursements and claims filed also for 2019, which is the basis for the computation for the IRM that is released. The historical claims in 2019 po. So, hindi po,
2019. Yun ang basis is 2019.
yes po. So hindi po ang basis nito ay kung ilan ang na-admit na pasyente na may COVID, but rather ang basis po ng computation for the IRM is the historical claims of 2019.
I am just a simple man, Mr. Chair, and I do not actually understand what the answer that you've given to us. Now, the rest of IRM figure are National Kidney and Transplant Institute in Quezon City with 179 million. Baguio General Hospital and Medical Center with 165 million. Northern Mindanao Medical Center with 150.2 million. Quirino Memorial Medical Center with 150 million. And Eastern Visayas Regional Medical Center in Tacloban City with 146.2 million pesos. From the figures itself, this representation does not see any kind of preference or classification. So my question is, how does PhilHealth handle IRM? What is their qualification? Yan po ba ay nasa PhilHealth Circular of 2020-0007?
Mr. Chair, Congressman Abante, with regard to the computation for the IRM is based on historical claims of 2019. Pagdating naman po sa pagre-release ng ating IRM, ito po ay nakadepende doon po sa pagsasubmit ng mga requirements, particularly the letter of intent and the MOA assigned by and the memorandum of agreement assigned and approved by the President and of course by the facility. So,
do you have this document?
Yes po. And kung sino po yung makakapag-submit, meron din po kaming documents or meron din po kaming data kung kailan po natin nare-receive yung mga MOA at kung kailan po nare-release yung IRM as approved.
Can you provide the committee on those data and documents?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Congressman Abante. We shall provide po.
I would like to ask Mr. Chair that they provide the data and the documents concerning all of this IRM.
Yes, PhilHealth is so ordered.
Okay. My next major issue ay yung tinatawag nating fund balance and reserve. PhilHealth incurred. Ang sabi nyo,
Yes.
ang sabi nyo, no?
The Honorable Abante.
Yes.
Opo. Kasi po kanina nag-agree po tayo dun sa point by point na discussion natin.
Yes.
Dito po, opo, kung papayagan po ninyo, tapusin lang po natin itong case rate, tapos dun sa funds po, balik po tayo dyan.
Sige. Okay. So I'll just go back later, no?
Yes, Honorable Abante.
Opo, sige po. Thank you, Mr. Chair.